Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. It is a pleasure to have all of our Falcon fans present at Falcon Fly. It appears that we had an intense and engaging game, and we will discuss it in detail. Let us begin this preseason game and analyze the pros and cons.
Let's watch Falcons fly!
Firstly, it is important to note that the first-string quarterbacks did not participating in the game. Michael Penix Jr. and Kirk Cousins were not present, but Jalen Walker and Michael Parsons Jr. were.
Last one quick for me, preseason this weekend. What should we expect? Should we see Michael Penix? We see Kirk Cousins? What's on the docket?
You know, the quarterbacks, you won't see those guys. They won't be out there, but you will see Stick. You will see Emery. You will see some of those young rushers you talked about. You will see some of those young guys that we have. We have a younger football team this year. We'll play a lot more of those guys, and people are accustomed to seeing us play. So you get a chance to see those guys go, but I'm fired up to watch those guys play.
Additionally, the first-string offensive line will not be playing either. The team will be utilizing the second-string offensive line, along with numerous second and third-string players. Despite the presence of many second-string players, the defense demonstrated exceptional performance, causing a fumble early in the game. This marked a turning point as the defense emerged and intensified their pressure on Detroit. During the second quarter, Detroit faced second and -8 at the Atlanta 11-yard line when Falcons edge rusher Arnold Ebiketie got around Lions right tackle Mason Miller to sack quarterback Hendon Hooker. In the process of his takedown, Ebiketie forced a fumble out of Hooker. Falcons defensive lineman Taquan Graham recovered it. The unfolding of this play alone shows what the Falcons have been prioritizing this offseason and working on this preseason, rushing the passer and forcing turnovers. DeMarco Helms, the third-year safety, had an impressive first two series starting opposite veteran Jordan Fuller. Helms made the first tackle for the Falcons, securing the tackle on tight end Shane Zylstra as soon as he caught a 2-yard pass from quarterback Hendon Hooker. Later, Helms tackled Hooker on a 23-yard run despite his target attempting to stop him. Helms also had a hard hit on running back Craig Reynolds as a pass fell incomplete in his direction. The hit drew an audible oof from the crowd. Helms was flagged for unnecessary roughness, but an offensive pass interference call on the Lions offset the penalty. It is evident that Helms has fully recovered from his ankle injuries sustained during last season's game. Easton Stick, the third-string quarterback, demonstrated his capabilities in the first half, completing 15 of his 18 passes for 149 yards and a touchdown. He also distributed the ball to 6 different receivers, which is advantageous for the Falcons as they are working on developing their depth behind starters Drake London and Ray McLeod, as Darnell Mooney is currently sidelined with a shoulder injury. Stick's primary target was Dylan Drummond, who caught 8 receptions for 62 yards. Stick's sole touchdown pass was a 13-yarder to Chris Blair, which tied the scoreboard before halftime. Rookie kicker Lenny Krieg successfully kicked a field goal from 57 yards in the first quarter. This distance is only 1 yard short of veteran kicker Young-Ho Koo's career-long field goal, which he achieved last year during the Falcons' Week 4 victory against the New Orleans Saints. In contrast, Krieg missed his second attempt of 53 yards in the third quarter. Competition is intensifying within the safeties' room for the starting position opposite Jesse Bates. The Falcons bolstered their roster through free agency with veteran Jordan Fuller, drafted Xavier Watts in the third round, and reacquired DeMarco Helms from injury. All 3 players participated in Friday's practice. Wide receiver Darnell Mooney continues his recovery from a shoulder injury sustained during training camp. This has created an opportunity for another wideout to establish themselves. To date, Casey Washington and David Sills have demonstrated promising performance in practice, but the competition remains fierce. Chris Blair secured the sole touchdown pass on Friday. The Falcons sat their starters, including quarterback Michael Penix Jr. So Friday's exhibition game showed who the coaching staff needs to still evaluate. Seeing players like defensive lineman Zach Harrison, edge rusher Arnold Ebiketie, and wide receiver Casey Washington dressed out was somewhat surprising since they all took significant reps with the first team units during Wednesday's scrimmage, which Falcons head coach Raheem Morris said was meant for the starters. Just goes to show that there's still more to figure out this training camp. James Pierce Jr., despite not having executed particularly impressive plays, undoubtedly made a significant impact on the Lions' defense. Whenever Pierce lined up outside, Detroit employed multiple players to block him. employing an offensive lineman to collaborate with a tight end in an attempt to prevent Pierce from entering the backfield. Alternatively, the Lions opted to run the ball in the opposite direction of Pierce's alignment. This indicates the prevailing perception of opponents towards the Falcons' first-round draft pick, a perception that the Falcons have been lacking. It appears that the defense will be aggressively pursuing the offenses of other teams, employing a relentless and hard-hitting approach. Conversely, we have only witnessed the second and third string players in the offense. Notable players include receiver Chris Blair, who secured the Falcons' sole touchdown, and receiver Dale Drummond, who made several notable contributions. Quarterback Eastern Stick, who performed admirably during the first half of the game, and Emory Jones, who played for a quarter of the game, also showcased their potential. I hoped that in the upcoming game, Emory Jones will start the first half and Eastern Stick will start the second half, allowing for a more comprehensive evaluation of their performances. At this juncture, both Eastern Stick and Emory Jones appear to be viable candidates for the third-string quarterback position. Despite their promising offensive strategy, it remains to be seen how the first-string players will perform. I am hopeful that they will start the first-string players in at least the first half of the last preseason game. This would allow us to assess how the offense will operate. For instance, Michael Penix Jr. could play for one quarter, followed by Kirk Cousins for another quarter in the final preseason game. This will provide valuable insights into the offense's potential. That way we'll get an understanding as far how our offense is going to operate. What do you think? Let me get your guys' opinion on how you feel about things as far as they have progress so far, but we'll get the best understanding if they put the first string players in so that we can evaluate how far they have come this year from last year. I would appreciate your feedback on the Falcons' progress thus far. Your opinions on their performance are crucial in evaluating their progress compared to last year. But once again, let me get your opinion on how you think the Falcons are doing. I think everything is coming just as they have planned, but only time will tell. What do you think? Anyway, you guys take care, have a good one, and we will catch you in the next Falcon video, so you have a good day, and we'll see you later.
Let's watch Falcons fly.